March TBR has been rough, consisting mostly of 3-star reads, and I'm making this video in hopes to change that. These are the books that I am counting on to at least one of them be a 5-star read, okay? And if it's not, I'm gonna cry. Alright, I've gathered up a few books that I want to talk about today. Now, there is one that I know that won't be a 5-star read, and that's fine. I actually DNF'd it in February. I just want to get to the romance part to see if maybe that will save it. It's Cruel is the Light by Sophie Clark. I hate the writing style. I don't like the narration, the dual point of views, third-person point of view. Just in general, I feel like the writing itself is tedious, repetitive, regurgitating information that we have already, you know, been given. So I'm not, I don't have high hopes for this. I might DNF it, but I am currently 104 pages into it, 9 chapters into it. Nothing much is happening, to be honest, and I don't particularly like this setting. It's set in Rome, but it is an urban fantasy. I bought it because the cover is gorgeous, and that's why I kind of want to finish it. So this is one that I know won't be a 5-star read, but I'm hoping at least I can finish it. Now, this book is on my March TBR, but I will probably read it last because it will hurt me and it will put me in a reading slump. So I know that it will probably be a high rated book. I will probably love it. I think I should read it last. It's Onyx Storm by Rebecca Yarros. Apparently this book is pain, and the next book doesn't come out until after 2027, so I'll probably cry. I'm just saying. Next we have a book I don't know anything about. It is One Dark Window by Rachel Gillick. I have no idea what it's about. I'm hoping it's romantasy. I'm hoping it's all of these are enemies to lovers. Again, these are, from my understanding, all romantasy books, or really good books that Book Talk told you that you need to read, okay? And that's why I'm picking them up. I also have, because it doesn't end, I also have The Serpent and the Wings of Night by Carissa Broadbent. Yeah, everybody is saying you should read it. It's really amazing. You have to read it. So I will pick it up, I guess. Also, another hyped book that I'm hoping will get me out of a reading slump and save the month is Quicksilver by Callie Hart. It's a big book, but people love it, so I want to read it finally. But I started with a book that is already on my March TBR. That is What Lies Beyond the Veil by Harper L. Woods. I am 36 pages into it. It's currently quite dark. Harper L. Woods, this author, is no stranger to writing dark material, graphic, and so there are a lot of trigger warnings for her books. If you want to pick them up, just be careful, okay? Because I also read The Coven and I really love that duology. So yeah, I'm reading this. Now, will I read all of these in March? Probably not. Definitely not. But will I be reading them for this video? Hopefully all of them, yeah. Hopefully I will finish them. But let me just put them all together and show you this massive stack of books that I'm planning on reading for the purposes of this video. Most of these, except for Cruel is the Light, are books that I have been looking most forward to. They are my cherished, most prized possessions, and I'm hoping they will save the year. The month, maybe even April. So yeah, hi, it's me again. I also realized I have 2 more books that I need to read for this video. Maybe I'll split it into 2 parts depending on how it is, but one of them is The Crown of Oaths and Curses by Jay Pree. Again, like, the cover seems nice. I heard someone on BookTube talking about it, or on TikTok, I'm not sure, but it caught my attention, so I'm gonna read it. And also Powerless by Lauren Roberts. I hear that this is a good-ish book. I don't know. I saw fan art, so that inspired me to pick it up finally. So apparently we're adding more books to the list. Oh my god, what am I doing to myself? I'm drinking sour apple. I just started my 3 days off. I'm 62% into this book, and let's discuss. So it's set in this world where the Fae and the humans are separated by a veil, because there were witches that wanted to separate them because the Fae kind of were not good to the humans, obviously. Then there's also the story how the Fae made humans, and mortals and the Fae have, I think souls have 13 cycles, and after the final cycle is done, after they die, they go on into wherever it is. It's done, basically. And we follow our main character, whose name is Estrella, and she has basically been brought up as a peasant, as an orphan, but she unwantingly attracted the attention of a lord, and he was not very kind to her. He kind of brought her up as a lady, even though he had a wife and he was much older than her. But she basically caught his eye and he wanted more, so he even went to the length of poisoning his wife to make her his bride. We don't like him. Before you come at me, we don't like him. And basically what happened was she refused to marry him. So, and because she knew that he poisoned his wife, he either had the option of letting her sacrifice herself for, you know, to keep the magic veil, the barrier, alive, or if he forced her to become his wife, she would tell everybody that he poisoned his wife. So basically she just sacrificed herself. She didn't die. The veil came down somehow, and she started running from the humans who wanted to kill her because she was suddenly marked as one of the Fae's mates. So everybody was after her because there's this like legend or something that Fae who finds their mate becomes so much stronger. So all the marked ones are now hunted because the marks are finally visible with the veil down. She meets this guy, Calum, and they hit it off, kind of. They try to survive. This book is so predictable. There's so many things that I've found. But I think this is her final life and his final chance to be with her, because he does tell her stories, and I think he was waiting for her all this time. He saw her live her life and die every single time through the veil, and he could not get to her, because we get in, I think, chapter 3 or something, we get a glimpse of her saying basically that she always thought whenever she looked into the veil that there were eyes looking back at her. I think that was him watching over her. But yeah, I love it. And I also think, but I'm 264 pages into it, and oh my god, it's a 4-star read so far. I like it decently enough, you know. It's better than anything else I've read this month. So I'm glad. I also have book 2 and 3, but yeah. Oh my god, I just remembered. They talk about his member and how it's exceptionally long. I'm sorry, but that is so stupid and I can't. Anyway, spice level so far is pretty mild. Yeah, I think so far she just thinks that he's like her, you know, marked with the mark of the Fae, being claimed by a woman that's Fae. But I think he's in reality Fae, you know? So those are my theories. I'm not gonna say if I'm right or wrong. Feel free to read this book, but yeah, cheers. I'm not drunk, I promise. I just started. I've not decided yet if I'm gonna go to sleep tonight or not. Might pull an all-nighter, try to read as much as I can. It's 1 in the morning. I am 372 pages into it. 33 chapters into it. I just have this much to go. So I think I know who he is. I think we're gonna get the big reveal now. I think Estrella is kind of already suspecting, but she's in denial. She's been in denial this whole book, okay? Oh, I can't wait for the reveal. What I do think though is that the spicy scenes and just everything is very rushed. Really rushed, glanced over. Not just that, like the first time, not that they did it, but like kind of, was so sudden. I had whiplash. So yeah, it came out of nowhere. If you like characters that are jealous, that are possessive, both sides, and you will like this book, I guess. It's fun. I need the reveal now because it's getting to a point where it's taking too long. That's it. I need something more to happen, and luckily I'm just at that point where almost 50 pages, yeah, exactly 50 pages from the ending of this book. So far, I don't know, it would be 3.75 stars just because of how rushed it feels. I'm a little bit drunk. The more we get to the ending, the more it becomes so obvious. Like, it's so predictable. I knew it from the kind of the beginning. The more she writes the story, the more obvious it is. Like, there are hints, and the writing is not really that good. But am I enjoying myself? Absolutely. But still, the ending, I'm not yet finished, but I wanted the ending to be a little bit different. And now he's gonna tell her the truth. That's where I am right now, at the part where he's gonna tell her everything. I have a date with a Fae mate, I guess. I don't know. Shadow daddy. Oh. Also, I forgot to say that I don't particularly like any of the side characters. Actually, none of them are likable. I only care about these two. If I had a cent for every time that the word cock is mentioned, I'd be a fucking millionaire. And also, his, you know, being down to his knees, which is mentioned, being extra long. Oh my god, he's well endowed apparently. Okay, never mind. I'm actually so stupid. I should have seen this coming. This was mentioned multiple times and I thought this book was predictable, but for some reason it must have been the alcohol. I did not foresee this, and it makes sense. It makes so much sense. Oh my god. I'm almost done. I have like 7 pages left. But what? Oh my god. This book is so cheesy. 3.75 stars I feel like would suffice. Even 3.5 stars, but I'm gonna round it up just because, you know what? I'm not mad at it. The writing wasn't that good, especially towards the end. I feel like there were scenes that were rushed. I feel like, especially with the fights and everything, that it was just glazed over. I would have loved more descriptions, more, like, less cutting to the chase. I feel like the world suffered a little bit because the main focus was on the main characters and their romance. 1:45 in the morning. What book will I read next? Will I pick up anything? I don't know, probably. But this was fun. This is exactly what I needed. But still, I did not break my 3-star curse for the month of March, which March is the 3rd month, so 3 stars kind of makes sense. 3.75 stars, okay, that's fine. We shall continue on, soldier on, and maybe we'll find something that I will like. All right, it's 2 p.m. I just made myself coffee and tea, and I ran out of milk. So now I'm gonna go out and basically buy milk and hopefully hair color. Also, I have a wound at the back of my tongue, and every time I speak it really hurts, or when I move my tongue it really hurts. I've had it for a few days now and it's bothering me so much. We will continue with whichever book is next. I don't even know, but it might be good fun. I just need to get out of the house for a little bit, get some fresh air. Please ignore my hair dyeing shirt. Her and I, we've been through things, you know, identity crisis and all that. As you can see, I'm dyeing my hair and it's not gonna be black. We have a pile of books that I have in front of me right here, and a bunch of notes. Now we have these plus the Oaths and Curses book. I don't know which one to pick. I'm gonna let Instagram choose my next read, okay? Insta. Am I not a genius or what? It's just noticeable enough that it's noticeable, but it's not too in your face, so that I would get a grooming discrepancy. Like, oh my god, I can't. I mean, my hair is still wet, mind you, so it's gonna, once it dries fully, it's gonna be better. This was a good idea. I'm a genius. I'm loving this coffee today. I put cinnamon in it, and I haven't drank coffee in a while, so this is amazing. Now, while my Instagram is still divided by which book I should read, because there have been 3 books died, I have already started Powerless, and it reminds me of Marie Lou's The Young Elites, because in that book also there was a plague, and the people who survived had powers as well, but they were hunted, so they were bad. But in this book, the people with powers are superior and kill anybody that's ordinary, if I understand correctly. So I will be interested in seeing where this goes and how similar or different it is from Marie Lou's The Young Elites. So apparently there are the purging trials where the elites, you know, which also the young elites, compete in honor or something. I don't know. It sounds more like the Hunger Games, to be honest, so I'm wondering if there is anything original about this book, but I don't know, it just reminds me of so many things. And the main character steals, which is also kind of a reference to so many of the romantasy book tropes. Like, I don't know, she reminds me of Katniss, although Katniss provided, she never stole, but she is kind of a provider. She also is reminds me of Feyre. She reminds me of so many heroines in these books who are, you know, always peasants or always underneath, no royalty, and they meet this prince or somebody very powerful, and they fall in love, and you know what it is. It's typical. Anyway, I'm listening to the audiobook and I'm gonna make myself a pizza, because why not? I haven't done that in forever. Oh, she has silver hair now. Wow. Very original. Okay, so I'm 95 pages into this book. I'm quite enjoying it, actually. I think the pacing is good. It's not too slow, it's not too fast. We got a bit of a backstory to our main character at the beginning, quite a bit actually, but it has been split up just enough that we get a glimpse into like her meeting the prince, and so it's not like it's just her backstory. There are things happening. This does remind me of the Hunger Games and Throne of Glass as well. But so far I have nothing to complain about. I'm actually enjoying it, and I want more scenes with her and Kai. This book is nearly 500 pages long. What the frick? I have 400 pages to go. It feels like I haven't even put a dent in this book and I'm already like 100 pages in. I guess I'll have to continue reading, and it's 5:30 p.m. and it's gonna get dark soon. I read 100 more pages, so I'm 200 pages into this book. So far, these 100 pages have been quite slow. I mean, a lot happens, don't get me wrong. I want more. It's really the Hunger Games. It really reminds me of the Hunger Games, mixed with the selection, with all the balls and everything, and like this, I don't know. And then, oh, there's also one other book where there's a brother, there are two brothers. No, it's not the Remnant Chronicles. There's another book, The Young Elites. I need to check on Goodreads of all the books that I've read, because there is one book that this reminds me of, but I cannot for the life of me remember. Where it's a brother, and then a brother is... I don't remember. Why can't I remember? It's not The Promise of Fire. It's not The Young Elites. Oh my god, how could I forget? What book is it? You got me in love again. And it's not The Legend by Marie Lu. Is it Red Queen? Is it? Oh my god, is it Red Queen? I think it might be Red Queen. Oh my god, and with the controversy on TikTok, now that would make sense. What? I did not expect that. I think it's Red Queen. I'm not sure. Is it? I know she'll be alright. Well, shit's gonna go down, and the second book will be probably them hunting her and her being on the run or something. Because that's how it usually goes. I'm expecting the next 100 pages to go a little bit faster because of the trials, but also feel slow because you're anticipating what's gonna happen, and also you want more romance. So I don't think they will have that much romance. But I think in the last 100 pages is where it's gonna... the plot twists and everything's gonna happen. We're just done with the world building. Now I think the next 100 pages are gonna be the best part, and then the last 100 are gonna be kind of tying all the loose ends and plot twists and starting off like the build up to the next book. So yeah, I'm gonna continue. I'll check in when the next 100 pages are done. I don't expect to finish this book. There's 5 hours left in the day. Will I finish this book by the end of the day? Probably not. Maybe in the morning. Oh god. The more we get into the story, guys, the more we get into the trials, the more blatant Hunger Games ripoff this is. How did this even get published with so many similarities between the other books and this one? How did it get published? This is so the Hunger Games. The first half is kind of like the selection. Like, this is all too familiar. Like, she's searching for water, like Katniss. They're all in the forest, like the Hunger Games. Then these two team up because it's like Katniss and Peeta. Then everybody is being thrown together, like, or gathered, just like the cornucopia. Like, this is such Hunger Games. All right, and then there's this. There's movement flickering across the crowd as the audience around us presses their pointer and middle fingers together, the symbol hovering over their hearts. Like this, I guess. A diamond, Ilya's image of strength, power, and honor. They are paying their respects to the fallen. Much like, you know, Hunger Games? Yes, no, maybe? Oh my god. I'm afraid to continue with this book because I feel like it's just gonna turn into me ranting about the Hunger Games. If it goes the way that I think, I probably will not continue with the next books because I cannot see anything original happening in book 2. Okay, I can hardly talk anymore with my tongue wound, which you can clearly hear. The more I'm 70% into this book, and the more I read, the more this book is falling apart for me. Like, I don't want to finish it. Now we are having an Elizabeth Swann moment where her corset or whatever is too tight and she can't breathe. Oh, and that's what I wanted to talk to you about. Peyton is set up as this like very fearsome character who everybody should fear because she can really take care of herself. She's a badass, you know. She's like a Selena Sardossian kind of good fighter, cunning, smart, whatever. Tell me why in the trials and even after the trials, Kai keeps saving her. Her badassery falls apart. She's a damsel in distress throughout this entire book. Hitting the 60% mark, this book started falling apart for me. I'm on chapter 47, page 393. I am giving up on this book for tonight. I will be reading some other book and I'll read the rest tomorrow. I posted a poll on Instagram and I am waiting for them to vote for my next read, and once I get my next read I will pick it up, read that, and then I'll check in tomorrow and give you an update on all my reading. Remember when I said that I wanted these books to save my March reading because my reading was really bad this month, all the books I did not enjoy? Well, apparently we're skipping the saving part because this was a 2-star read. Oh my god. I'll just post my Goodreads review here and you can pause and read it for yourself. But I did go on a rant a little bit. There are spoilers. My mouth still hurts. My tongue still hurts. I can hardly talk. Anyway, I will probably continue just to see if the second book is a little bit more original than this one. I'm so happy. Yesterday I posted on Instagram what books people wanted me to read first, and Quicksilver was the next one with 11 votes. Then we had One Dark Window with 9 votes. Crown of Oaths and Curses was 4 votes, and then Serpent and the Wings of Night was 3 votes. So this is gonna be the order that I'm gonna read them in. So I guess we're starting with Quicksilver now. So I'm at chapter 40 and about 60 pages from finishing this book. Well, it's been a few days just because I've been working, and so I haven't had really time to read, but I'm almost done. I'm almost done. So far this book hasn't really been romantasy that much. Yes, it has, but the romance felt rushed, but I think it's for the same reason as, was it What Lies in the Veil? No. Yeah. So it's understandable, but it feels rushed. We don't get, I don't know. I'm looking for that oomph, you know, for something special. Like the romance in here is not, I wouldn't say the romance in this book is the main focus. It's mostly the world and the war and everything else happening. But I just wanted to show you this. It's so beautiful. This edition, oh my god. The romance is not the main centerpiece of the book. It's actually just a thing that gives you a break from all the war talking and the magic and the plans, and makes this a little bit easier to go down. But overall, I like it. There's a lot of secrets that don't get answered, or a lot of things that don't get answered to the point where I would be really satisfied, but I think it's also because we're gonna find out now or later on. And there's a lot of things that get brought up that I feel like get dropped, but I think it's just me. I think it's just me being not satisfied with getting all the answers as soon as possible. So I don't know what I would rate it. For such a thick book, 609 pages, it certainly does pass by so fast. I think it's not the kind of book where you are kind of dreading everything and you don't want to pick it up. It feels like, as you're reading it, it feels like it's going by so fast, and I like that. I really appreciate that for a book this size. And yeah, I don't know, I think I would rate it 4 stars right now, depending on how it ends. All right, guys, I finally finished Quicksilver, and I just love this edition so much. I'm so glad that I bought it in hardcover because look. Oh, you can't even see, sorry. Look, it's gorgeous, it's stunning. And yeah, so I have a few things. First of all, Carrion is my favorite character in this book. I cannot wait. I hope we get more of him in the next books. That ending was okay. I'm very interested in seeing where this is gonna go. I feel like I read like this book multiple times because it's quite predictable in the way that it follows the same structure as other romantasy books. I knew that this has to happen because that's the only way that they're gonna be together. And then I don't want to spoil. And Carrion was a breath of fresh air. He was just there for comedic timing, I think. And I actually enjoyed it. Yeah, it did remind me a little bit of A Court of Thorns and Roses in the way where we had like fae and you know, magic and the transition towards the end, and oh my god, I don't want to spoil too much. The maze, all of these things. It reminded me of ACOTAR, and I don't know, I still liked it. I did, like Powerless, I did not think it was that unoriginal. I just think that when you are at a point where I am, where you read so many romantasy books or fantasy, YA fantasy, like things are gonna be bound to repeat it themselves, you know? I like this book. 4 stars, it was decent enough. So I think this is where I leave you because I actually ran out of videos because I've been filming some really long videos that take a long time to film. So if I want to keep up with the weekly updates, I'm just gonna have to break things up, read 3 books per video. But this was fun. So my actual goal was to save my reading for March. Did it happen? No, it didn't make anything better. I think March is just doomed for me to read average books. I'm looking for that one book that I fall in love with, you know, or that I at least like really love or just enjoy. But while Quicksilver was fun, What Lies Beyond the Veil was okay, but a little bit forgettable. Powerless I don't even want to talk about. I still don't think I found my match. So I will continue with the reading, and hopefully by episode 2 we will have a different outcome. But I still thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you have a lovely day, and I will see you next time. Bye.